Hello everyone, and welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles. In the last episode, we came up almost to the very top of the giant circle that is the Bionis interior. I'm not kidding, you start there and you go... It's just a little spiral. I've bitched enough about this last episode, so I'm not going to go too deep into it this episode. There's one final thing to bitch about, but I think that's going to be a little bit in the future. I'm guessing, yes, I have all of the Collectopedia things apart from that one bit of veg. That is what we call in the business a black liver bean. You require one for this, and you require another 2 for Colony 9 completion. It is incredibly rare and infuriating to get, but we're about to have something that will circumvent that, which is one of the greatest... no, you know what? The best thing they added in the Definitive Edition was something we're about to get hold of. It's still a bit annoying, but fuck me, it's way less annoying than it used to be. This is going to be a cutscene heavy episode, because we're going to head inside the heart, we're going to have a big cutscene, then going to be a big fight, and then some more cutscene-y stuff. And it's a pretty interesting one. It's another fuck you to Melia. She has a genuinely shit time throughout the entirety of Act 3 of this game. Let's head inside the heart. Oh, that was sphincteral.
Welcome to my world. I must say, I am surprised. Zanza's vessel truly does have a will of its own, and looking quite sprightly.
I'm still alive. I won't die. Not yet. And that's why we're here.
Everyone who lives in this world has a life. So, it shouldn't be threatened by anyone. We'll never give in to Zanza.
So full of passion. Well, if it's life you're looking for, I'll show you true life.
It's...
Galleon!
Brother!
There is no use in calling. It worked before, but now his transformation is complete. He is my adorable servant. Do you know the meaning of the word Lorithia? It means that which eliminates impure life. Impure life, just like you. That which Lord Zanza does not require shall be extinguished from this world. Enjoy this battle.
And now we have Disciple Lorithia. Yes, the only thing worse than your brother turning into a freakish monster is one of the villains essentially just desecrating his corpse. We have these novae here that she summons, the Quinto, Primero, Secundo, Quarto, and Quinto, which translates to first, second, third, second, fourth, and fifth. Which is really annoying because there's 4 of them, but there isn't a Tertio Nova. Don't know why that is. When they're up and about, focus on them. We've got a very ether-heavy party at the moment. I'm playing as Melia, and then we've also got Ricky, who I've set to ether mode, and Shulk, who's got some decent ether shit, as well as, it's Shulk. He's got purging and visions and all that shit that he does. So... Again, equally, Ricky's got some of those area of effect attacks like Burninate and Lurgy and stuff, which means when she throws up the Novae, they're fairly straightforward to handle. There's a quote that Lorithia says 1,000 times during this fight.
You'll pay for your insolence.
There it is. Get used to her telling us that we're going to pay for our insolence. She says that a lot. Fortunately, absolutely in no way immune to break or topple, so you can just boot her down with Melia, and it's very, very entertaining to do so. Unfortunately, I didn't quite have enough stuff ready to take her on. I'm holding on to generally a Summon Bolt, as in without dispelling it, because... There it is again. Because it ups Ether, which really helps Ricky and Shulk's Monado arts as well, so... Oh, good lord, Spear Break and Starlight Kick recharge very fast nowadays, don't they? Fuck it, right, let's go. Let's see if we can... What can we do? We can't really do much to topple lock her in this state. Well, let's hit her with Bolt. Then Ricky can, while she's toppled, what's a powerful thing for Ricky to do? Fucking freeze and they just hit him. Well, now we're on to purple, and the shock's not great in purple. Nah, I should have done something red, but he doesn't have anything red because he's in ether mode. This has been a weird chain attack, I'll be honest with you. Not my best work.
You'll pay for your insolence.
I mean, boy are we gonna pay for our insolence. As well. Right, when she says that usually means, when she's like, pay homage to eternal power, usually means she's gonna summon the Novas as well. One of the things that used to make this battle a lot more annoying, that doesn't really happen so much anymore, which is good, is she'd drive you into a corner and all of your allies would just walk into that ether river that's around you, and that thing will fuck you up. Like, if you're going to those green sections, you'll just full-on just die, and it can really fuck you up in this fight. Oh, explosion! That went badly. Oh, we're all dazed. It was one of the Novas blowing up. Oh wow, we're all dead and getting a fucking vision. Great.
It'll all be over soon.
How dare you say that to the Aeropon? Why are you giving me a vision for that? He's been knocked for 900. That's not exactly world ending. Oh, Shulk's confused. Oh, no. Oh, this is so humiliating. The Aeropon's gonna get obliterated while you're running in fucking circles. Right. Those Novas are nearly dead. They're all just holding on. One summon flame. There we go. We'll take them out. Right, and then we should now be clear to focus on Lorithia. You notice I'm using Summon Ice as well. It's handy to have some additional summons, and this one is an unusual one. It does ether damage and chill damage over time, but it attacks in a circle around Melia. In this particular fight, it can be really handy if Melia is at risk of being overwhelmed, and frankly, you want to be using ether throughout this fight entirely, so having an additional summon, that's something that Melia can rely on so that she's always got summons that she can let off. You're not just waiting on cooldowns. Very nice. Anyway, that's Lorithia.
Brother? Is that really you? Oh, I have longed to see you.
I too, Melia.
Brother, I must apologize. To you and to everyone.
Because of our transformation into Telethia.
I am a princess, but I brought misfortune upon the high end here.
You are mistaken, Melia. The Telethia gene lies dormant within us all. There was no escaping the cursed blood in our veins, sister. It was fate. That is why our father sought to dilute the bloodline. You are the hope of the High Entia. You will not transform into a Telethia. Even after the Bionis has reawakened, you can still succeed the Imperial line. You have the power to end our suffering. Knowing this, both I and father were happy to sacrifice ourselves. It was our choice.
Brother.
There is no need to fear. After all, this is precisely our wish. In the end, you are the only ones who can stop Zanza.
Yes.
Now, leave her to me. You must go. You must accompany Shulk.
Telethia! You! What have you done?
I have done nothing. This is your destiny. Accept it with dignity!
Ah! My body! No! I was promised immortality! Ah!
Brother.
Melia, at long last I can be with Father. You must now live your own life. The path you forge, the future you choose. That is the hope of the High Entia.
Thank you, brother. Your words will stay with me forever.
His words?
Oh, Ricky heard. Ricky heard Melly's brother. Oh, Callian say, hope of bird people. Where Melly's brother? Oh, Ricky not see him, but Ricky hear him.
Ricky. You too heard his parting words. Thank you.
Don't hug that, that's gotta hurt.
Melia.
Thank you for your concern. I am all right. Let us go and secure the future my brother so hoped for.
We will. Together.
Such a brave princess.
Dixon!
Don't look at me like that. I take time out of my schedule to send you off to a nice spot, and that's how you welcome me.
What do you mean?
I'll be waiting at Prison Island. I've picked out a lovely place to return your flesh and blood to the Bionis. Don't keep me waiting. See ya later.
I'm gonna... Come on, everyone! We've got to get to Prison Island. Okay.
I really like that scene. First off, I like any scene that gives Ricky a purpose other than comic relief, which that does really nicely. And we've kind of seen that before a little bit with talking about like hearing spirits in Osse Tower. Ricky seems to have some kind of ethery... he's an ether user generally, but he seems to have a kind of spiritually spooky connection that other characters just don't, and I really like that. And Lorithia's voice actor is fucking great. She absolutely goes for it, and I got a lot of time for her. I guess before we head through the portal, well, the final thing to briefly talk about is... You know what? No, let's talk about that once we're through the portal. Time to go to Prison Island. That's all I'll say.
Hey! Is this...
It's Prison Island. So it has sunk into the Bionis head.
Oh, Dun. Ricky feel funny feeling from above. Ricky instinct say Dixon is there.
Yes, I agree. Start praying to Zanza, Dixon! We're coming!
So welcome on the Bridge of Grief to Prison Island 2. The basic geography is the same, but as you notice, it's inside the Bionis head now, which is this kind of weird, brainy-looking space. And do you remember last time I complained that Prison Island... Well, I mentioned that Prison Island has these transporters that take you around, and a lot of areas seem to be offline. You knew we were going to be coming back, but this one is very different when we come back to the Bionis interior. It's a whole new area, and now it has collectibles, which it didn't have before. For example, I can imagine 10 of these smelling weirdly sweet. Things to say before the final confrontation. How is Nopper Rick going to call the butterflies back with these? I'll talk about some stuff next episode about which... There are some side quests we are going to do before the end of the game, and there are some we aren't. Ones which are clearly bullshit like that, and which make no sense to be doing at this level of world-ending stuff. because we're at the classic part of the JRPG where your enemy is God and you have to attack and dethrone him. Always the case in any JRPG. Also, interestingly now, the Equus Sky Rays that were around last time have now been replaced with Newgate Lyres. This is a really specific reference, which I really like. Newgate is a prison in London. And so these guys who guard Prison Island are named after a prison. Again, it's one of those signs of the British English localization rather than American. And yeah, that's just put in there as a little reference. I have no idea what these guys' names are in Japanese or if it's a similar kind of name, but it's a cool little touch. Oh, I'm gonna fucking die, apparently. Oh, nebulas. Nebulas are such annoying enemies. Nose mouth. Still don't know what that means, but Ricky says it all the time. I really like a couple of things I'm going to talk about at this point. I really like Ricky. Not Ricky as a villain, Jesus Christ. I really like Dixon as a villain, because when your main villain is God, it's quite difficult for God to be, you know, an emotionally compelling villain. His whole thing is, I'm above you, you're worms clinging, like bacteria clinging to my body, I'm just going to get rid of you. That's not exactly a compelling villain. Dixon is a really cool one for... Oh, Sun Staff. Is that good? Let's find out. Actually, one slot, get fucked. Oh, and there's an Aegis Moabit here. Fuck it, let's fight this guy, the damage transporter. This is where we first came into Prison Island, by the way, all that time ago when it was stormy up in Erith Sea. But yeah, Dixon is really good for putting a human face on that, a face you know, and a face that God you want to hate. Because you know Dixon, and it makes him so easy to hate, and you're right to do so. You absolutely should hate Dixon. And it's the fact that, again, he's just clearly having fun with it, because he's a bastard. Oh, it's brilliant. It should have kind of somewhat become obvious at this point now, but I am just going to talk about it a little bit here. Melia and the kind of the hope of the Hyentia. We've seen hints to this for ages. Like when Melia did the Trial of the Tomb, her DNA was scanned and it talked about Hom's gene integration. We've nearly achieved our aims and whatnot. Very clearly, several Hyentia in the Imperial family and possibly in other places like the Ministry of Research knew about the risk of the Telethia gene and were actively working to mitigate it. That is the whole point of the system, where every emperor has to take a Hom's first, a Hyentia first consort, but a Hom's second consort, and as such, bring the kind of have some Hom's blood be constantly brought into the Imperial line. That is absolutely the whole point of that, is to prevent the to try and breed out the Telethia gene, essentially. So they are aware of it. As such, the whole thing about why it ends up, given the timing, Callian is the oldest. He should be the one to rule, but given the timing, basically being, you know, the Emperor sees that the prophecy starts being fulfilled, the Monado comes back, the Mechon are awakening. Seeing those signs, that's why the Emperor and Callian both decide, no, Melia has to be the thing there, and she's told as much by the AI in the tomb, that also says, it is you who will rule over the Hyentia and likely be their last, I suppose, in their current state of actually being Hyentia. Darken his breath, you say. That's not great. As in, not great for him. It wasn't a particularly potent attack. Can we topple these guys, I wonder? But yes, they clearly come together and decide it has to now at this point be Melia, because the risk of the Bionis reawakening and the Telethia gene becoming a thing is too great now. We can't risk having the leader of the Hyentia be pure-blooded, because we're all fucked if that happens, because then the Empire is beheaded when the Bionis reawakens, because every pure-blood turns into an absolute monster. And over the coming episodes, we will be dealing with the aftermath in Alchemoth of kind of what has happened there a little bit more. But that's why Melia is specifically referred to as the hope of the Hyentia. It is entirely because she is half harm's eye. That's why it matters. You'll have noticed... Oh, final thing to talk about before we head in. These statues, again, at the prison gate. We were told about them. When we first came here, Ricky saw this statue and went, Dino Beast! Implying, this is a Telethia. And it clearly is a Telethia. That's cool, that opening up. I was hoping to time that with the music starting, but there we go. This thing obviously is a Telethia. Ricky goes, Dino Beast! And Melee goes, no, that's not a Dino Beast. It's one of the high Entier ancestors. Legends say they were a lot more beast-like. Yeah, that's clearly a Sani Telethia, the type that Alvis has. And the game just basically tells you, Ricky says, Dino Beast, and she goes, no, that's what high Entier used to look like. It's so obvious. Like, I've got genuinely the fear in certain parts of playing through this game, because it's why I've been trying to get people, and people have been really good at talking about their thoughts and feelings of the game as it goes on, because at some parts I'm like, oh god, people will see this twist coming a fucking mile off, because the game just tells you it's going to happen. But you don't. It's very clever. This game is really good to rewatch, because it tells you exactly what it's going to do, but you don't know that it's telling you that. It's very clever for that. The amount of hints dropped about the fate of the high Entier is massive. Anyway, you'll have noticed that Prison Island has no music. When we were last here, Prison Island had very cool music. It has even cooler music here. This is actually, on all of mine, this is number 4. It is fantastic and really suits this moment exactly. Everything that the Bionis interior was not, Prison Island as a final area of the game absolutely is. Let's head in and let the music play. This is called The End Lies Ahead, and it's brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. It absolutely sets up the final area of the game wonderfully, and it makes it's a brilliant move for making Prison Island feel so much different to how it does when you first come here in the storm. Like, in both cases, Prison Island feels very different. In that case, it's this giant thing where you're like, what the fuck is this? What is at the top here? What is going on? At the moment, you have an idea of basically everything that's going on. There's not really many more twists or secrets for the game to reveal to us here. And so you are just going to the final battle. And this does it fantastically well. The architecture in Prison Island, worth drawing attention to. It's very different to anywhere else in the game. It's giant in origin, as in, obviously, physically fucking large, but it's built by the giants. And I guess that's one thing we've not talked about so much, is the giants. We'll talk about them a little bit more as it goes on, but basically, Zanza, as you'll have realised by now, isn't a giant. That was one of many, many, many things that was revealed to us during the Mechonis Core events. This was inactive last time. Now it's active, and takes us to somewhere very different. Prison Island is much bigger now. This is the Banquet Hall, and is full of bizarre enemies like the Obart. So good they named him twice. Which, and I really like the design of a lot of these like demon-like enemies that you get in Prison Island, including new versions of Dinos as well. But yes, among the many revelations in the Mechonis Core scene is that Zanza is not the giant we met atop Prison Island, but he was in fact possessing him. That was a giant known as Arglus, who was a friend of Egil's. Yet another thing that makes Egil's story pretty tragic. As such, the giants are in no way inherently evil, and Prison Island, I mean, look at it, it is clearly built for giants. And it's hypothesized that Prison Island was a kind of giant palace before it became used as a serene Imali. You know what? Why not? He's got a spike actually. You gonna purge that spike, Shulk? It would be great if you could do that. But yes, it's theorized that this was a kind of giant palace that was then repurposed as a prison when the Hyantia imprisoned Zanza / Arglus here. Oh, here we go. This one's some good damage. Oh, this is going to do some amazing damage, actually. And we've also got him purged, so it's very handy that Shulk had that charge. I did not know that going into the chain attack, and it was a bit of a ballsy move, but I think all things considered, it will have paid off. Can we topple this guy? We can certainly break him. Yeah, we can topple him, and your spike's meaningless now, you little shit. Unnecessarily aggressive, but there we go. Right, let's see. The dumb man's still got Heat Haze up, so we may as well use that. Fuck it, backslash. And Fiora. Oh, Final Cross. Fuck it, we run up the chain attack, but it's totally worth it. Wow, that was a relatively high-level unique monster with a spike that put up absolutely naff all of a fight. That was fantastic. And now she's doing Final Cross again, and oh, this guy's a down spike. Whoops. But yes, we've still got Heat Haze going because this fight, outside of chain attacks, this has actually been a very short fight. This Obart is toppled. That must have been Final Cross that did that. We'll topple him again. Don't worry. Oh, Fiora, she's like borderline broken with Final Cross. I love her. It's a shame you get Final Cross so late in the game, but it makes handling a lot of this late game stuff so much easier. Because high level stuff, you can just area of effect that does a lot of damage and also topple locks. It is brilliant. You'll love to see it. Anyway, we are going... Ooh, high-level summon Earth and Asura Creases. That was totally worth it. I was going to end the episode there, but let's do some cool shit first. Dumban's working his way through his final skill tree, as is Shulk on this one. What's he on now? Reduces aggro. Yeah, that's so Shulk. You'll love to see it. Oh, is this... This will be Orion 3 trowel that everyone's unlocking for everyone. We're nearly at the point where we've got the whole Orion gear, so hopefully we can show that off before long. You know me, like to show off full sets. Let's put some better shoes on Dunban. agility shoes, no less. Rhine, I think. Or do we want Ricky to have the Asura leggings? That strength up is nice. Oh, that's just much more Rhine, though. Oh, but he's got the Eclipse ones, which are also good as well. The Asura ones are a slightly different type of heavy. I think we'll put the strength ones on Rhine, and we'll put the agility ones on Ricky. Being a bit dodgier is more of a Ricky thing. Oh, though Ricky's already on full... So, oh, fuck it, we'll go for it anyway. I press B instead of A, so clearly we have locked that in. I'm going to fight one more Obart. Right, I should add, with their fucking weird-ass name. These are the first ones we've seen it so far, but Obart is a type of monster that we're going to be seeing a fair bit of. There's, like, you know, devious Obart and problematic Obart. It's like a Gogol or a Caterpile or something like that. It just looks weird because the base form of Obart is also called Obart. My son is also named Obart. And hence why I make the New York reference every single time, because I'm a predictable bastard. But we'll be finishing up here pretty quickly. So, can I get up onto that? Well, those lads can get up onto the table, so clearly I must be able to and get that chest. Yeah. Next episode, we will not... Ooh, Rex helmet. That's pretty cool. Is that also an Orion type? I think it is. Yes, it is. Clearly, it's giving us... Look at that. What a look for Dunban. Potent. Same. A lot of horns at this point. I suppose we are literally fighting demons, so gotta go for it. I think Orion type is... Oh, it's horned on everyone except on Charlotte, where it makes her ginger for some reason. There we go. But yes, next episode, we unfortunately will not be proceeding further in Prison Island yet. That will be probably 5 episodes in the future. Episode 98. Episode 98. I want to come back to Prison Island when I'm ready to do the entire rest of the game. And we are going to have 4 more episodes of side quests. They're all, as I talked about earlier, they're side quests which it makes sense to do now at the end of time. Most of them are dealing with the Telethia and the Hyentia and everything that's happened in Alchemoth. And so they're worth doing now, whereas things that are like, help me set up a sweet shop in Colony 6. No. So that's what we'll be getting onto next episode. I hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.